Hey everybody, we're here with Gabe Carter. He's with Prosperity Home Mortgage. He is one of our local lending specialists. He knows everything about our local market. And I have a few questions for him that I hope will help everyone sort of understand at least a fraction of what is going on in the lending world. Are you ready, Gabe?
Absolutely. Nice to
Great.
see you.
Nice to see you too. Okay, so everyone's talking about forbearance. What does it mean?
Forbearance means that you get to defer some of your payments until later. Right now, forbearance is really the topic of the moment because so many people are uncertain about their employment and their ability to pay their bills. The best thing the government's done so far is to offer forbearance, starting with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and all of the jumbo lenders have followed suit, or most of them have. The way that this works is that you need to go to apply for forbearance. You can't just stop paying your mortgage without telling anyone, or else you'll get negative effects in your credit, such as derogatory marks and potentially all the way to foreclosure. And so we don't want anything like that to happen. But the banks have made it really easy. Pretty much what you need to do is look at your mortgage coupon or the payment stub that you get every month, call your servicer and ask them what steps you need to take to request forbearance. This should be the simplest process that you've gone through with regard to a loan. And what that means is that you're going to be able to defer your payments to a later date. The interest doesn't stop running, but you're going to be able to put them off for some period of time later on. When that's going to be depends upon your lender. Everyone's got a different program, but they'll advise you directly.
Call their lender and
yeah,
figure out
absolutely.
what their time frames are.
Yeah, and if you're working with a larger bank, I know that Wells Fargo, you can go online and there's 3 boxes that you click and they say, okay, we'll get back to you in 3 to 5 days. And they'll let you know what the plan's going to be. It's pretty simple, and it's the best thing for people in our current situation.
Got it. Okay, so what if I have a buyer, or I am the buyer and I'm pre-approved now? Is that still secure in the current market? And will I be pre-approved after this is over, not knowing when that's going to be? And what steps should I take if I'm pre-approved now? Is there questions I need to ask my lender?
That's a really good question, and something that's changing every day, just like the lenders that are actually operating in this current market environment are changing day by day. Guidelines are changing day by day. For example, if you have a low credit score and you were going to do some sort of a government loan, an FHA or a VA loan, they're no longer taking the really low credit scores around the 580 range. You need to have at least a 620 to be considered, but 640 is really where you're going to be safe. If you're working with some sort of a jumbo lender, or you have an alternative form of loan being considered what we call a non-QM bank statement loan, asset-based loan, you really want to check in with whoever your lender is to see if that lender is still offering the loan program that you were used to pre-qualify, and if there's an alternative if they're not. There's no guarantees right now, and in some cases we've seen lenders turn off their fundings in the middle of the process. So it is something that changes day by day, because with the way the market's working right now, the problem is that these banks don't have the ability to sell them on the secondary market. So if they've got nowhere to sell them, that means they have to hold them on their balance sheet, and it restricts their ability to lend moving forward. So it's really a trickle-down effect from the overall market environment and the volatility that's going on. So it's really, really important to have clear communication with your lender or your bank and your real estate agent.
And just circling back to summarize, the biggest thing is to have communication with your lender, making sure all of them are doing things differently. And so making sure if I want to defer my mortgage, for example, that's, and that bank's doing 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, that's up to the bank, and your lender will be able to tell you that and how to do it, right?
Correct. Communication is absolutely paramount right now. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are given a minimum of 60 days up to 12 months. That's what's published on their website. The jumbo lenders, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citibank have all agreed to a minimum of 90 days. Bank of America has said they're going to take it 30 days at a time. So as long as you're in touch and you're being proactive, they're going to work with you. It's always important for you to be forthcoming about what's happening. If there's any uncertainty for you, virtually every single person in the world is touched in one way or another by COVID-19. And so they're being as accommodating as possible, understanding that these are circumstances well beyond our control.
Got it. Okay. What about refinancing? if someone wants to refinance, what are they doing that?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of refinances right now. In fact, most of the clients that we are getting calls from today, I mean, we're still doing a lot of pre-approvals for people that are looking to buy, but obviously the market, the volatility is there as well. But with refinancing, it's a great time still to change up your rate and term, potentially pull some cash out if you're looking to do some home improvements. A lot of people spending more time at home now
Yeah.
are realizing there's projects that they really want to get to that maybe they didn't before. So yeah, refinances are still an awesome opportunity. Again, just depends on your employment status, what you're looking to do. Cash out can be a little tricky, but we've got a few lenders that are still in the game if you want or need to do something now. So it's definitely worth looking at. And again, if nothing else, it's a great time to prepare for when the market comes back and we get every option that's available. But right now, rates are still really good. We're looking in like the mid threes for refinances on conventional
Oh,
loans.
that's awesome. Okay, so you mentioned pre-approval and unemployment. What if somebody is unemployed or furloughed, or um, something's happened to their situation? What if they're applying for an SBA loan? Are they still getting pre-approved?
Well, that's another thing that's continuing to develop right now. If you're furloughed, that means you're temporarily unemployed. You're not necessarily laid off. Your job is effectively secure with the company, but you're no longer being paid. There's no benefits or anything. So if we can't verify that you're actively working and are being compensated for that work, we're not going to be able to approve the loan at this time. It's a little bit different than if you took, a temporary medical leave or something like that. Because we don't have an end date on this process and on this period, we need to take a more conservative approach. And the lenders understand that. So what they're doing now is they're verifying employment right up until the time of funding to make sure that people are actively employed. But with that being said, we can still do everything that we wanted to do. And if maybe you're temporarily unemployed, we might be able to utilize a different type of a program, such as a bank statement program or an asset-based loan, in order to get something done for you if you have a real need at this time.
Great. But the good news is things are still happening out there. You still have people that were pre-approved before this, going ahead with the buying process, getting loans currently, right? That's all still happening.
Absolutely. We're very active, and we're closing 2 purchases tomorrow and another 3 on Friday. So what we've got is a market that, while it is changing and people are kind of, looking to see what's going to happen, especially in the Santa Barbara area, people really want to be here. We're in one of the best places in the country, and it's still an attractive place to live. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Well, that's good news. Great. Well, this has been a great session. Thanks for jumping on with me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for your questions. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. My number is 805-403-3110. My partner, Justin Dees, and I are here to answer all of your questions, just to be a resource. If you don't know who to ask, we're here to help.
Awesome. I'll make sure that everybody gets your information. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Angie. Take care.
Bye-bye.